What's good, y'all? It's Solution back at it with another Mental Gen video in which I give you guys frameworks you can use to become extremely successful and achieve all the goals that you are after. So let's get right into it. So today I'm going to be talking about anxiety because many of us feel anxiety on the path of being able to achieve our goals for the reason and definition that I've come up with in the context of achieving our goals, failing to commit to an option that can help you achieve your goals or that can help us achieve our goals. When we fail to commit to something, we feel stressed. Why? Because we are uncertain, we don't know what's going to happen, we don't know what the future holds, and that makes us feel bad. And many of us don't like feeling anxiety or feeling uncertain or stressed when it comes to achieving our goals because we want to achieve them, which is a good thing. And for that reason, that's what made me think about it. I'm like, yeah, this is something that's really important to come up with a frame for to make sure you don't feel anxiety when it comes to achieving your goals. So how do we not feel anxiety? How can we make sure we're never feeling stressed and never feeling any anxiety when it comes to achieving our goals? Well, this is the frame I came up with for it. First, we must decide. We must decide. Plus, commit. Obviously, commit is already in the definition I give, but I'll talk about commit in a second. So, many of us, we have options because the definition I gave is failing to commit to an option. And let me talk a little bit about options and decide. So, basically, when something is an option, it means it's a path that you can achieve your goals with. Like it's a path that can lead to your goal. Because essentially, right now, if you're considering different ways you could achieve your goals or different paths that you can use to achieve your goals, if one of the paths don't even lead to your goal, then it's not an option. We can agree on that, or I'd assume we can agree on that. It's not really an option. So you need to make sure first you're not considering any options or paths that don't even lead to your goal because those are essentially just distractions for you and will cause you anxiety and stress because you're considering them and they don't even potentially help you. So first you need to get rid of those. And then you have the options that actually, or the paths that actually lead to the goal that you want, right? So what you need to do also is refer to your value circle. What is the value circle? I'll drop a link to the video for the framework that I made on the value circle, but I'll briefly go over it in this video so it makes sense when it comes to overcoming your anxiety. So you need to refer to your value circle. And your value circle is essentially people who help you achieve the goals that you are after because they can give you information that you need and that will help you achieve your goals. Because you might be ignorant right now. You might not know what you need to know, which is fine. So you go to some, and there's three types of people in your value circle. It's someone who has achieved what you want and they can give you information you need that will help you. Someone who wants to achieve the same thing as you and you can work with them because they can help you because they want to achieve the same thing as you, so they can help you with context and information as well if you don't have someone who already has achieved what you want. And then you have the best kind, which is people who've achieved what you want and you can work with them because obviously if they've achieved what you want, you can work with them. They could just put you on their path directly. It's really simple and easy, and you want to have as many of these people as possible in your value circle who you have contact with so they can help give you more information. But basically, back to the main point, if you have options, you go refer to your value circle or the person who's achieved what you want and be like, hey, these are the options I'm considering. Do all of these lead to my goal? Like, can all these paths lead to my goal? And if they tell you yes, now we move back to the first step here, which is decide. You need to make a decision now because if every single path leads to your goal, all you need to do is decide on one. Like, you just need to make a decision. It doesn't matter which one you do. It literally does not matter. And the reason why I will say it does not matter is for a belief that I want to break for you guys is what will prevent you from achieving your goals is almost never the path that you choose as long as it leads to your goal. Like I said, you will go refer to your value circle and ask someone who has information and knowledge that is beyond you so you know the path is legitimate. Cool. But once that is done, you now just need to choose. It doesn't matter what path you choose. Why? Because the ultimate limiter between you right now and your goals is your lack of skills, beliefs, character traits, or resources that you need to achieve the goal. Because if you had all the skills, beliefs, character traits, and resources you need to achieve the goal, you would have already achieved it already. So, meaning the limiter on your path, as long as the path is legitimate, will always be you. It will always just be you, which is actually a really good thing. Because if the limiter is always you, you can fix you. You can change you. You can go improve yourself to get the skills, character traits, beliefs, or resources you need to achieve your goal, which is a good thing. Because then you don't need to think about choosing a perfect path, because there is never a perfect path. Because think about it, everyone is dealt a different hand of fate, or dealt different circumstances that they have to figure out how they can become successful with the circumstances they are given. Some people become extremely successful instantly because they might already have the resources they need, or they might already have the character traits or skills or beliefs that they need to have to achieve the goal. So you just need to decide on an option that is legitimate. Once you know, even if you have 20, 30 options that are all legitimate, just pick one. You can even close your eyes, put papers in a bucket, and then put your hand in there and grab one, and then just do that path. You need to decide, right? Just make a decision. Cool. But once people still mess up on the next part of this. So once a decision has been made, you decide on a path. You decide on a path. So you decide on a path. So you decide on a path. Now we move to the next step where people mess up is commit to the path. You have to commit to it. Because what people will do is like, okay, I have 30 options that could work. So let me just dip my toes in all 30 options, which is dumb. Because the thing is, if you are dipping your toes in all 30 options at the same time, you are going to go nowhere fast. Because think about it. If one person is fully committed to one path and is doing all the work, getting all the skills and beliefs and character traits and resources they need to move forward, they're going to be just moving straight. But you, if you're trying to dip your toes in 30 different paths, you're going inch, 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 inch. It would take like 3x whatever your lifespan is to really get anywhere. So the thing is, once you have decided on a path, because the path isn't the limiter, we now know from going and talking to our value circle, right? That I haven't said before, value circle. So from going to go talk to our value circle, we know, okay, all these paths are all legitimate, however many I have of them. Once I've decided on one, I need to fully commit to it, because if I dip my toes in 30 of the other options that are legitimate, I'm not gonna go anywhere. And who wants to achieve their goals slower? Why would you purposely want to go slower? Especially when I've just told you that the limiter is not the path that you choose. The limiter is always going to be you, as long as the path is legitimate. You're always going to be the problem. You not being good enough is always going to be the problem, as long as the path is legitimate. So just choose one. Because what's worse is you not being good enough for one path. Imagine trying to do 30 paths at the same time and not being good enough. You're not going to do anything. It's not going to be productive at all. And I don't feel like this is something that is hard to understand, but for many people, and including myself, like obvious stuff is sometimes not so obvious, and that's why it's so important to speak on it. So yeah, so you need to decide on your path and then fully commit. Like fully, meaning fully. Like you are only focusing on that. That's all you are focusing on. That's your one path you're focusing, because it is already going to take whatever amount of time, but it's going to take time to acquire the skills, beliefs, character traits, and resources that you need to achieve the goal with that one path. So one thing that I can tell you will increase your anxiety is if you're trying to make 30 paths work. I'm telling you, you will feel. Ask anyone who's doing a ton of stuff at the same time right now. Ask them. They're like, oh, I got this project I'm doing. I'm also trying to be an actor and a professional soccer player and an engineer and a plumber. Like, look at them, and by just looking at them, you could probably tell how stressed out they are, how much anxiety they feel, because they're not choosing. They're not committed to the path. And for people who haven't even made a decision, someone who's like, I'm thinking about doing this and that and this, like, just think, even this might just be you. This might be you watching this video right now. But if you're someone who maybe is like already committed, you know, you just wanted to get rid of your anxiety just in case. So like, let me go watch this video to make sure. And you know people in your life who either haven't made a decision or are not committed to anything. It feels terrible. It's really, really stressful. And I felt like that before when I failed to make decisions. And even when I made a decision on one, I'm like, actually, I'm going to do them all. And then I'm not committed to one. So you want to be fully committed to one. To one. You want to be fully committed to one path. Just do one. I'm telling you, if you make a decision and you fully commit to one path, you will no longer feel stress and anxiety. Because obviously that answers the definition, which is failing to commit. So you wouldn't feel anxiety because you've committed. But the thing is, it's like when you have made the decision, what is there to worry about? What is there to feel stressed about? You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And if the limiter is your skills, beliefs, and character traits, then work on them. You can just work on them. You can improve them. It's a process. And you know that you're not just going to go from 1 to 1,000,000 when it comes to achieving your goals. It's going to be a process, which is fine. And you're in control of that process, which is the beautiful thing. So yeah, that is pretty much my frame on how you can overcome anxiety when it comes to achieving your goals. You pretty much just need to decide on a path. Decide on a path. As long as you refer to your value circle on all the paths or options you're thinking of right now, and they're like, yes, all of these are options. No, some of these are not options because they don't lead to your goal. And then boom, you have your finalized options, things that are actually options. They're legitimate and can lead there, right? Boom, you just need to decide on one. It doesn't even matter which one you choose. Because why? That's not what is limiting you. Because these options are all legitimate. You can literally randomly pick one. You could be like, I like the color of this one, or I like the speed of this one, whichever. You just choose one. Once you have decided on a path, you must commit to it, meaning you fully commit to one. Don't try to dip your toes in another path or go over here or go over there when things get rough on the one path you're on, because all you need to do when things get rough on the one path you're on is get a skill, character trait, or belief or resource that can push you to the next level on whatever path you're on. Because like I said, the limiter is just you. So you want to fully commit, do the one path. I'm telling you, you will feel a lot less anxiety. You will feel a lot less stress because things are moving forward. You're getting feedback. You don't feel as uncertain because you're getting feedback and response from being fully committed to doing the work on one path. I'm telling you, this is so important because now I feel a lot less stress and anxiety in my own life because I'm committed to one path at a time. I'm not trying to do multiple things. I decide on one and commit and just go. And then I've noticed for me in my own life, when it's come to my own goals, when I'm committed, I'm like, okay, if I'm not getting the results I want, it's probably a skill I lack, a belief I lack, a character trait I lack, or a resource that I need. And then I just keep moving forward like that. And it's absolutely great. So yeah, so please give me feedback on this video. Did this make sense? Was this too simple? Did I need to go in deeper? Was this just right? Feedback always helps because it helps me become a better YouTuber, achieve my own goals, gives me less stress and anxiety because I'm getting feedback. Well, obviously I don't feel, at least I personally don't feel any stress or anxiety right now, which is really good. And I want that for you guys too. So please give me feedback and let me know how you feel about the vid. And of course, like the video, boosting the algorithm, more guys can see this and get help they need if they're feeling really stressed, feel anxiety, because I know how it feels. It feels horrible and I don't want you to feel like that. Of course. So yeah, with that being said, I guess I'll catch you guys in the next Mental Gym video. Peace.